Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. It's Monday, that means it's time for a movie Monday, and today we're talking about Venom. That's right everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups. This is...
Jelani Bullard.
This is...
Brooks.
The magnificent he is, and so are you for watching this video. We're going to be talking about 2018's Venom. Brand new movie from Ruben Fleischer, the director of Zombieland, or something like that. That it kind of explains a lot. Starring Tom Hardy, Michelle Williams. I can't remember the dude's name that plays Drake right now. I don't remember. I even had it in my head. Anyway, and of course the symbiote. So it's a solo outing for Venom. Venom's got his own movie out. When this was first announced, we were all very hesitant. Some of the trailers made it look like, maybe this might go the right direction. It got a lot of bad reviews right before it hit. A lot of audience love as it was hitting. What do we think about it? I don't like it. I think it's pretty bad. I try not to be too hard on movies, but I think this movie's pretty bad. I think it's got an uneven structure. It's got some structure problems. I really think it's got some very cliche dialogue, some very cliche just storylines that go on through it. A lot of just stuff that's kind of meaningless. I don't really like many of the performances at all, including Tom Hardy. And I'm a big Tom Hardy fan. Yeah. I think Tom Hardy's a great actor. But he never really feels like Eddie Brock to me. I think they got the character wrong. I think the Venom stuff, I think it was ultimately just a very silly, goofy movie that was almost trying to be edgy and dark and cool, but didn't really embrace that. It definitely embraced the goofy, campy side more. And that's why I think it's being compared to like a comic book film from like the early 2000s or the 90s or something like that. But ultimately, I didn't really like the film. It had some moments that made me chuckle. It had some moments I thought were pretty cool. It was nice to see Venom do some Venom things and eat people's heads off. And by the way, there will be spoilers in this movie for sure. But I didn't even like the tease at the end, the post-credit thing with Carnage. Spoilers. Woody Harrelson, right? So we even knew that was kind of coming, but I don't know. Ultimately, I just didn't really like this movie. I just wasn't feeling it, just wasn't vibing on it. What about you, Jelani?
It was two different movies smashed together. I think that Venom, first of all, more than anything, the main complaint from me to begin with was that Spider-Man's not in this movie. Like, Spider-Man is, if you're going to make an origin story for Venom, you're going to make an origin story and have Spider-Man get rid of the suit. Like it does in Spider-Man 3. I mean, it's a terrible Spider-Man 3, but it told the Venom story way better than what they're trying to do right now. I agree,
absolutely.
And on top of a lot of different things, I mean, yeah, it's a hodgepodge of just people trying to be funny, and on top of that, they're trying to make a horror film, and they stuck both of them together, and it doesn't feel cohesive. It's the script, I think, is the bane of this movie. The script is the worst thing. Like, if you tell a good story, even if you don't put Spider-Man in it, you can tell a good Venom story. Yeah, it's not that hard. I mean, you can make an alien come and bond with Eddie Brock. He even bonds. I mean, the way he bonds with the symbiote this time, it's just throwaway. And here's a question. What happened to the symbiotes that they captured? They captured all these symbiotes, and they put them in different people. And then, those people got eaten.
Well, one of them died.
Did one of them die?
Yeah, the one that he put in the Jenny Slate doctor lady.
Yeah.
And that's why he's all pissed off. Like, you let this creature die.
But there was another one, right?
So, there's another one. There were three or four.
There were three. There were three. Riot, Venom, and the one that died.
Well, Riot's the one that escapes from the initial...
Yeah. That was really pointless, too. It's like he, walks away, and he just goes to basically where he would have ended up if he'd have just, stayed in
weird and at the beginning of this movie,
so, there's no point in him possessing all those people just to get to where they would have taken him anyway.
He goes, that whole pointless trek of Riot. They crash land at the beginning of the movie, and they have J. Jonah Jameson's son in there, but I guess he's dead now, and
he's probably Man-Wolf.
Yeah.
Come back.
I was expecting him to turn into... Were you expecting him to turn into werewolf in the first 5 minutes of the movie?
He needs to do something. I don't know. Maybe werewolf crashes the building. Why would you have that character come in and just die? That's J. Jonah Jameson's son. Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, okay.
And then, the symbiote's inside of him. So then it jumps to a paramedic that they're in Malaysia or wherever they crash land.
Yes.
So that like there's a Malaysian lady, a paramedic, who has the symbiote that goes and she kills a whole bunch of people with her spines, which was kind of cool.
That was kind of cool.
But then she turns around and gives like the symbiote to an elderly Malaysian lady, and then she goes to the airport and gives it to a kid, and then all this has happened in 6 months. And it doesn't
like very
feel
spaced
like
out throughout the movie. Like,
it's terrible.
It's like movie, and then all of a sudden, here's
don't forget,
other symbiote.
There's this other symbiote on the way. And you're right, though. It makes little sense for that to even be in the story, in the narrative, when they were going to take it to where it's going towards anyway. Like it's
but it didn't know that.
And it didn't advance. Like, I thought it'd make more sense if the symbiote that got away was Venom.
Yeah.
That would make a little bit more sense to me. And he comes across Eddie Brock in some kind of way or something like that. So you didn't really like it that much.
I was on the fence when I went to go see it, and now I'm completely off of it. Now that I've seen it, I'm glad I got to see it for free, and I want my money back.
What about you, Brooks? What do you think about the film?
I thought it was all right.
Brooks thought it was all right. You gonna tell us a little bit more?
I don't get I know it wasn't a great movie. But I mean, like, as bad as an early 2000s comic book movie, I'm not seeing it. I thought it was alright. I thought it had some good stuff.
I think Spawn is a good comparison because I think Spawn's got some moments. Like when I was a kid, I liked Spawn.
And Spawn is rated R.
I remember watching Spawn as a kid, like the part where he's coming down into that room when his cape is all over the place. I thought that was awesome.
Well, you watch it now and you realize his cape is moving through people because the CG was so bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I think Spawn's a really good description for this movie. It's kind of like somewhere where it could be cool to a certain mindset. I think. I don't know, man. So you liked it. You enjoyed it.
I thought Tom Hardy put in a good performance. I liked his take on Eddie Brock.
Now
he does have a good character arc, at least. Because one of the things that kind of bothered me though about the movie is like how the setup takes like a long time. It kind of drags a little bit.
Yeah.
But it does give you some good insight into the character. It does show you Eddie Brock. Like he starts out, he's this arrogant guy, and then like he's got nothing. And then, he finally decides, yes, he wants to do the right thing anyway, regardless. And the rest of the movie, when he becomes Venom, I liked it all right.
Okay. I thought that they didn't quite have the character of Eddie Brock nailed. Now, I realize, I mean, you've been reading these Venom books.
Yeah.
We realized
Eddie Brock in those books would have been dumb as shit.
Well, yeah. And
Eddie Brock in the comics is just some idiot that does basically whatever pops into his head at any given moment.
But there are some elements that come through to make a strong character behind Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
This need to protect the innocent, for instance. I didn't get that out of Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock. Like I get that he said he did, but it didn't feel like he did. It felt like he was way more arrogant. Like he cared more about making a name for himself. Yeah. To the point that he would like completely
it would be fine.
But there were moments in there to actually develop and tell some do some nice character work with his relationship with Michelle Williams' character.
And like his relationship with the people around him, like in his life.
Yeah.
Like, the security guard at
the boss.
Place where he works.
But they're all just like little cardboard cutouts of characters.
Yeah. They're stick figures.
And the homeless lady actually comes back in later.
Yeah, but it doesn't really...
He passes the symbiote.
It doesn't feel... That's the one that passes the symbiote, which that was the part I didn't really get. I'm okay with it that he wants to free her, but like that shouldn't have been the way he gets his symbiote.
You're right. He does go in there and he tries to help her, but I don't know. I just didn't get this like... I don't know. I think Tom Hardy did an okay job with the script that he was given. Now, I think ultimately he had a poor script to work with.
He had a poor script.
I liked his accent. I liked the way that he would converse with the symbiote. Like, I thought that was cool.
That was my favorite part, I think, was him and the symbiote when they were talking.
But they played it up too much for laughs and didn't really get too much into, like, how is this actually affecting Eddie mentally? And that's like early on in Venom solo.
They have him freaking out a lot in this movie.
But he's doing it into a comedic time.
He does
he jumps in the lobster tank.
It looks like Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
From any movie in the 90s with Jim Carrey.
Like The Cable Guy or Ace
Liar.
Yeah.
It's just stuff like
excuse me.
Yeah, he was just too much.
A little too much.
It was hammy. in parts where he needed to be. It needed to be darker. It like I said, once again, it shifts in tone so much, and it's two films smashed together to the point where I know this was a rated R movie. I know that they started out as a rated R movie, and they cut out so much stuff. I think Venom kills total probably 3 people. I'm guessing he kills about 3 people in this movie, like eating off their heads, biting off their heads, and he bites people's heads off. And you don't see blood.
Yeah.
You don't see viscera. He eats an entire man, like in front of a lady. Oh yeah, at the end. I'm sorry, guys. The trailer, by the way, like a turd in the wind.
Yeah, it's in the movie.
It's in the movie,
and it's like
it's the end.
It's the money shot.
It's the end part of the movie. He eats an entire man, and off camera. You don't see it. In front of a lady that he's been talking to. Oh yeah, I got skin problems, man. And then he walks away. She doesn't freak out. She just looks at him.
Because it's comedic timing. It's meant to be funny. It's not meant to be like. It's not meant to be horrific. It's not meant to be dramatic. It's not meant like.
It's gone.
I'm not saying that a Venom movie should be the deepest movie out there on the market, right? Like it should be some kind of crazy art film.
No.
But tell me a good story. Tell me a good character arc for Eddie Brock.
It's a murderous symbiote. It's a murderous symbiote that basically originally corrupts Peter Parker to the point where he cannot keep this suit. He must get rid of it. And he found a way to get rid of it. And then his rival finds it. And he is just as pissed off at Peter Parker as this symbiote. They both connect to each other and find a way to terrorize Peter Parker. And that's the story that should have been told. We didn't get any of that.
Yeah.
We got a rushed B-plot story of whatever that was. You get a wooden romance. I don't know what that was. Oh yeah, and she gets the symbiote for a while too.
Yeah, just to kind of like have that cover of the Bride of Venom.
Look, I'm sheeving.
I think Michelle Williams was definitely wasted. She came across very flat and stale in this movie to me.
And she was wearing a wig. You could tell she was wearing a wig that whole movie. I'm sorry.
I thought it was too convenient, too cliche with their whole thing and their whole relationship, and it's like they're trying to add in these elements of romantic comedy at times. You know, and like she goes in, like she's having dinner with her new successful boyfriend, and he comes in there and jumps into the lobster tank and eats a lobster. Like that is totally something out of a '90s Jim Carrey movie.
It is. It is.
Like totally, not from a Venom film, in my opinion. I don't know. Another thing I really don't like about this movie is the villain. The ultimate villain is Riot. It's Carlton Drake. Can't remember the guy. He
was in Rogue One. He was the pilot in Rogue One.
He's the pilot in Rogue One.
The pilot guy in Rogue One. That's all I remember.
He's like another Yellow Jacket to me. Inconsequential. He's just there.
He's not menacing.
His motives are. I mean, he's just an evil corporate bad guy.
Ooh, he's evil. He killed a homeless guy with a symbiote.
He doesn't care about human life.
His main henchman Treese didn't really like him either. Like it just was flat. It was boring. It was formulaic.
Forgettable.
It was formulaic.
Yeah.
What do you think about the villain?
He's forgettable. I forgot him until we mentioned him just now.
What a lackluster fight too at the end. Just
Riot,
a bunch of CG mesh.
Yeah, it was all meshed together fight. And they get basically, the Life Foundation apparently makes space shuttles in the middle of San Francisco, and they're not televised or anything.
They know about them. I mean, it's kind of like SpaceX. You can imagine
I
that.
guess,
privatization of space.
SpaceX, they treat like NASA launches now.
Yeah, but I get that. But I understand the idea. The idea of the Life Foundation in the comics was it was something that was going to be like set up for like the wealthy 1%. To be able to escape a planetary disaster.
Right.
Whether that was living underground. That's why in the comic books, that's why the Life Foundation kidnaps Venom. Because they want to figure out how to put these symbiotes on people to make them live longer and things like that, right? And so they kind of do that in the space. Here's the thing. So they go out into space, they find these symbiotes. They find these symbiotes because these symbiotes are already on their way to Earth to plan this invasion. 4 of them.
We got samples. We got samples of them. Okay, how'd you get those samples?
One thing that I thought was funny about this is when the Venom symbiote is talking to him. He's just like, he calls him a loser earlier in the movie. And he's like, I'm kind of a loser too.
See, I hate it.
And I made me think because that made you think like Venom the Venom symbiote is Peter Parker and the Riot symbiote is Flash Thompson.
Yeah.
How you see nerdy Venom symbiote.
You're a nerd.
What you doing there, puny Venom?
Stronger. Yeah. Well,
What'd you think about the villain? What'd you think about
was,
Riot?
You know, like you said, he's just generic villain, very bland.
He was the Yellow Jacket. He was Yellow Jacket.
I would have rather enjoyed having more of a mustache twirling type villain.
Yeah. I thought if they'd have given him more, like, you know, something to go over.
A little bit more.
Like when he gets the symbiote and he like completely changes to over the top, you know.
Yeah.
A little less Yellow Jacket, a little more Raul Julia's M. Bison.
Yeah.
Right?
Agreed. Agreed.
Something like that. Anything, okay, Woody Harrelson as Carnage. This movie, if it makes money, they'll do another one. They got Tom Hardy signed for 3 of these.
3 movies.
So
we'll get 2 more.
Maybe a sequel,
sure
I think, could be cool.
It.
Maybe it's like one of those.
I would be interested in this.
Maybe a sequel would be cool because you got the origin out of the way. You can just maybe just focus. I'm telling you this, though. Let's talk about this. Woody Harrelson as Carnage. That's an inspired little brain.
It is. I like him.
I like him as Woody
Harrelson.
What is up with that wig, man?
That
Take it off.
Terrible wig.
Did someone go, oh man, Woody Harrelson agreed to play Carnage in the
Give him an Eddie wig.
He can only do it today. We need a wig. Go down to Party City and grab it right now. They can bring a Ronald McDonald.
Well, I imagine, and if they did do a movie with him, like that would be like his in prison thing. You know, like he's been growing it out, letting himself go, but when he gets out, he'd like cut his hair.
I hope he just buzzes. If you're gonna have Woody Harrelson, don't give him a stupid wig.
Yeah,
you didn't make Tom Hardy wear a blonde mullet wig, you know, or little cut off shirts. You know, there are little things that I like, little teases. I like that he's in San Francisco. I like that they use the Life Foundation. I like they use the names from Lethal Protector. Like Riot, you know, Riot, you know, Riot was really weak, a really bad villain. I hate this trend in movies, and I know this is not an MCU film, obviously.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Give the rights to Disney.
But I am so tired of these Marvel films basically having the final act of the movie, the final confrontation be the hero and some other version of the hero. You know, like Yellow Jacket versus Ant-Man.
Yeah,
Killmonger.
Killmonger's
one of the best MCU villains out there, but he still has to put on a Black Panther costume to fight Black Panther.
Yep.
I'm like, whoa.
Iron Man and Ironmonger.
Iron Man. It's all just like this. They keep doing it.
And it's so painful to watch because you want a good film. If you're going to put out a movie, generate some decent buzz. Your first trailer, you don't show anything in the trailer of Venom.
But we got really excited.
And people were excited for it.
But we got excited on the second trailer when we saw Venom.
When you see it,
but now that we've seen the movie, we know that they showed us every Venom scene.
Everything.
Well, yeah.
There are parts, though, where Venom looks
close enough, too, really.
Yeah.
Close to it. And I do like certain lines. But I like the whole lungs, pancreas, arms, so many snacks. Those are things that Venom would say.
Yeah, Venom would say something like
that. But there were just too much other things that he wouldn't. I also do love that he loves tater tots.
Yeah.
But Eddie Brock is the worst, apparently, at making tater tots. You can't make tater tots in a toaster oven, homie.
How hard that is to do.
And have you ever tried to eat a frozen tater tot?
Yeah, it's kind of painful.
You have? You have?
No!
You said yes.
Well,
you were like, yeah, I have.
I think I probably have. Oh no, when you're hungry. When you're hungry, you eat things.
A little slip there,
like
man.
Something my old roommate Nathan might have done.
Oh man, you know, yeah.
Nathan.
And then would have just tossed him all over the wall.
I don't have time to do all this oven crap.
Was he the one that ate the cold taco meat?
Yeah, that was
from Taco Bell.
Cold taco?
Remember when we had that?
Oh, that's right.
We're totally not even on Movie Monday right now. But straight up,
to a Nate story.
one of our homies used to work at Taco Bell, and he had this real quick. He had this bag of like Taco Bell meat, right? Remember that, right? And so we had a taco night. We all got together and we hung out. This was years ago. Years ago, like early 20s, years ago. And so, in the middle of the night, apparently this dude just got up and just like grab a hunk of it. It's congealed with like orange,
you don't
just eating it. Like it's what?
Delicious.
One time, G-Funk straight up ate some old ass like sour cream like dip or something that was from the catering gig of Kevin. Anyway,
sorry.
See, this is how much more interesting.
Stories have too much backstory to them.
Right. Okay. I didn't think the CG was very good, and I don't. We will discuss CG CG is important, especially in films like this, because how can you do a film like this without using a lot of CG, like Aquaman, which I'm very excited for. But that was a little jab at you.
Yeah, thanks,
because of
man.
our conversation.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah. It's gonna suck.
They didn't know that though. Anyway, I thought the CG looked really bad. In fact, I thought that the CG on the symbiote
they put it on later.
I think that the CG in Spider-Man 3 looked better. Like, for real. Like, the way that the suit came on Peter or came on Eddie Brock. Like, when Eddie's in that, like, we know everything about Spider-Man 3, right?
And this one seems to more, like, go inside of them, actually. Instead of, like, covering them, it, like, actually goes inside their body.
Yeah, but not in any cool kind of, like, it should look painful. It should look...
It should look painful, but it looked painful when it rejected him. Or rejected that guy.
And he, like, came out of his mouth.
It came out of his mouth and stuff, but...
It looked like one of them Black Cat...
Right.
Firecracker. It's just like, you know.
So, if you're going to do this character,
yeah,
you should have at least done what Marvel did and use motion capture suits. You got motion capture suits for Hulk. You got motion capture suits for Thanos. You whatever character that
I'm also pretty sure that the budget of Venom was nowhere near like an Avengers level budget.
Of course.
I'm sure.
It's Sony. It's Sony. They're struggling.
It's October release, Sony.
But, like, at least try. It looks like they put all of the CGI and all the mess in post-production. They were just like, just throw this in.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where we put it.
Just make it look like a turd.
Make it look like a turd.
In the wind. Brooks, what do you think about CG? I know you don't really care usually.
Yeah, I thought it was alright. Okay. I didn't have any problems with it.
I mean, I thought Venom looked alright, but it just didn't look real enough. I mean, and that's fine. You know, not every movie's gonna, have Gollum or Incredible Hulk in it, But I don't know. Just ultimately, I'm let down by the movie, for sure. But I didn't have high hopes to begin with. And so, I don't know. So let's get into the ratings. We do ya digs here out of 5 possible ya digs. Jelani, what do you rate Venom?
I'll give it 2 ya digs.
2 ya digs.
I mean, Tom Hardy has the potential to be a better Eddie Brock in the future. He was chosen, and I had no issues with it. I was just mad that Sony had the rights, and they were going to do this. So, Tom Hardy and his interplay with the symbiote is the reason I'm giving it 2. The rest of this movie is hot trash to me. Like, I wish I didn't see it. I wish I just watched those trailers and been okay with it. But we review movies here on Movie Monday, and I'm going to give you what I feel, and 2 is a solid one for me. I'm going to give them 2.
2 ya digs. Brooks, out of 5 possible ya digs, what do you give Venom?
I give it 3.
3?
Yeah, I mean, it's just mediocre. It has its shortcomings, but I mean, it does seem to have potential for, a better movie down the line. I mean, I don't think it's near as bad as everyone seemed to hype it up to be. I enjoyed it. I sat there. I wasn't, bored except, maybe a little bit in the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was a pretty entertaining movie.
Okay. 2, 3. I'm going to give it a half a ya dig for tater tots and a half a ya dig for making me laugh a few times. I'm giving it a 1 ya dig.
Wow.
1 ya dig. I really did not like this movie. I'm a big Venom fan. I feel like the writer of this movie read some of these silly Venom series that we've been reading.
Yeah, it does seem a lot.
And that's all they knew. And that's literally all they knew. They read Lethal Protector. They read Lethal Protector. I think that's all they know.
Let's make Eddie Brock a little bit less of an idiot, though.
Yeah. Well, he's only an idiot because he's got this single-pointed focus on protecting the innocent so that they don't get taken advantage of and turned into turds.
And yeah, he's constantly getting, duped himself.
I just didn't really like it. I think it had a lot of script issues. A lot of script issues that no amount of Tom Hardy or directing would have handled.
Script. The script killed this movie. Like all of it. Like, if you had just made a simple Venom story where, once again,
I don't even think it needed Spider-Man.
You don't need Spider-Man. You can make a simple Venom story and just tell it. And if you had more time to make it, because it looks like it's rushed. It looks like we need to put movies out.
Only, the third act comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It just happens.
I'm sure there were reshoots and takeouts. So that script was garbage, and then post-production was garbage too, because they didn't know what they were doing. I'm sorry, guys. That was a terrible film. You don't make films like that anymore. we left that long ago.
I think Spider-Man 3. I think Spider-Man 3 is better.
Yeah, Spider-Man 3 is better. Wow, way better.
How would you compare it to, say, the last Fantastic Four movie?
I think the last Fantastic Four movie is better because that scene when Doom wakes up and starts killing all those people, that scene is badass.
That's pretty badass.
And the first 45 minutes of that Fantastic Four film is actually decent. Yeah. The first 45 minutes of Venom's kind of boring.
But it's all set up
Fantastic
too.
Four crashed and burned hard for me.
Well, so did Venom.
I don't think so.
For me. I mean,
it was lackluster, but I wouldn't say it crashed.
Well, 2 you digs, 1 you dig, 3 you digs, which means an average of 2, which means Jelani was right.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
We don't say that often here at the Huntsville Attic. Anyway,
I don't like that.
I want to know what you guys think about Venom. Let us know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video. Be here next week when we won't be here because we're taking a well-deserved break from Movie Monday, but we will be back 2 weeks from today talking about some Halloween movies. So everybody get ready, gear up for Horror Fest 2018. We only got a couple movies we're going to do, but we're going to do them and do them well. We're going to finish out with some fun stuff. Got a lot of movies coming up in November. Fantastic Beasts, Bohemian Rhapsody. We'll be, of course, tackling Aquaman and Into the Spider-Verse in December, along as well, I should say, as tackling each of our very favorite Christmas movie. Awesome. And I'm looking forward to that. So be sure to roll with us on through the rest of 2018 here on Movie Monday. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups. This is
Jelani Bullard.
This is Brooks. And join us over at patreon.com/PCP to unlock exclusive content, like a video we're actually about to film where we're showing off a bunch of our Venom action figures. So find things like that and a whole lot more at Patreon and over at popculturephilosophers.com. We are the Pop Culture Philosophers. Thanks for rocking with us. You dig?